And if I went from here, 80. If I went from here, it dropped down to about 50. If I went down to here, it dropped down to around 23.
But when you look, so when we're looking at movement capabilities now, we tend to have two camps. You mentioned the two camps earlier on, but we've got the obviously the pure strength guys who say it's do less weight or just sort of power through, and you know everyone should have got a squat, bench, deadlift. And then on the other side, you've got the mechanics guys who I don't want to call out, because mechanics is great and physics is irrefutable, but obviously with any trend, there's a lot of people that don't apply it particularly well, that talk a lot about moving around dysfunction because you haven't got an x-ray, you can't see what the actual posture is, you can't see bone spurs. You know, like, what is your stance on that view, and what do you feel is actually possible? What do you feel can be changed?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I might not be able to look at somebody's body, but we have pretty recognized degrees of range, passive and active in certain body parts. We can also do we can do tolerance tests to see if they feel pain when we do certain things. We've got manual muscle testing, which I still do manual muscle testing, mainly to see if one side versus the other is at a deficiency. But I use an electronic device that actually tells me how many kilograms of force they're pushing with. So I've now gotten past that point of, well, that feels stronger than that one. Now I can actually quantify it with this device. So that's changed a lot of things with me too. It's also changed a lot of things that I was thinking about with, people saying, well, shoulder position doesn't matter if there's no pain, blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay, cool. So I took myself and two other people, and I used this muscle testing device, which can it's basically electronic dynamometer. And I said, okay, let's take a grip and let's just put the arm in neutral position and squeeze and see how many kilograms of force. Cool. Now let's protract the shoulder, internally rotate, and do it again. My grip was like 83 or 85 kilograms. And when I protracted, internally rotated, and tried to do it again, it dropped by about 30 or 40 kilograms of force. Yeah. So think about how that's going to affect everything, because those nerves are traveling from the neck into the hand. So if that position is affecting the hand, it's also going to affect afferent signal back to the brain. So possibly being in a position of protraction, internal rotation, can that affect your lifting? Is that going to fuck up your bench, your overhead stuff? Well, if it's cutting down that feedback back and forth, probably. So what else did we do? There was one other big one I did. I did one where I did grip here, and then I did grip in a slightly flexed position and grip in an extended position. And if I went from here, 80. If I went from here, it dropped down to about 50. If I went down to here, it dropped down to around 23. So if you think about it, guys who are benching that are allowing their wrist to extend, they're possibly fucking up that feedback from the neurons in the hand to the brain, giving it that proprioceptive signal. And also, when do people do this? When they're doing dumbbell or biceps curls, or when they're doing curls and they're looking down at their arms. That's a big one Charles used to talk about, is don't move, look straight ahead, don't look down, because you're going to actually make yourself weaker. When you test it, it shows that you actually make yourself weaker doing that.